Whether you're a homeowner or an investor, building a second accessory unit within a single family home in Brampton is a great way of generating extra income. Even if you don't want to rent out the basement yourself, getting it legalized increases the value of the property because of the extra income, and it can also help you get a bigger secured line of credit from the bank. In this video, I'm going to go over the process of getting your basement legalized and whose help you can take to get it done right. Before I get into the details, you should know that you can use the help of an architect or a licensed professional engineer for the design and approval phase, and then you can use the help of a general contractor to help guide you through the construction phase. Although you're not expected to be an expert when legalizing your basement, all this information does definitely help you make a better informed decision. Normally, detached, semi-detached, and townhomes are intended for single-family uses. However, the City of Brampton has allowed, and I would say even encouraged, the addition of second accessory units, given that they comply with the bylaw zoning requirements. A second accessory unit is self-contained, meaning it has its own entrance, set of rooms, and its own area for cooking, bathing, and sleeping. Second units must be registered with the city to be legal. If you don't register your second unit with the city and then you rent it out and you get caught, you're going to be faced with a very large fine. Second units have to be legalized because the city wants to make sure that your property is safe and livable for everybody. Now, there are three main steps to getting your basement legalized. One is application, two is construction, and three is final registration. So the first step in getting your basement legalized is the application process. So the very first step is to have a pre-application reviewed and have it looked over by a city's zoning examiner to make sure that your property meets all the preconditions and requirements to be able to have a second accessory unit or a legal basement. This includes your property not being zoned as an open space or an area that is considered to be a floodplain. If it is, then you're going to need the approval of the Conservation Authority, which is something I had to do because my house backs onto a creek. Another requirement is that only one second accessory unit is permitted in a 2-unit dwelling, and the second accessory unit must be smaller than the primary unit. There is no need to add additional parking when building a second unit. However, you must maintain the existing parking spaces assigned to that property. Definitely talk with your city planner or your licensed professional engineer to make sure that you meet all of these requirements before applying for the building permit. By the way, if you do need an engineer, talk to me, email me at raj@rajphull.com, and I can help you connect with a few engineers that I know that have done an amazing job helping others legalize their basements. So once you get your pre-application reviewed and your property meets all the zoning requirements, it's time to apply for the building permit. What does it take for you to apply for a building permit for the process of legalizing your basement? Well, it takes filling out some key forms. First is the application for a permit to construct and demolish. This is a standard form required to make any major changes to a property. Next is the Schedule 1 designer form, which is only needed if someone other than the architect or the licensed professional engineer is taking the responsibility for designing your second unit. It identifies who is the responsible party for designing your unit, and they have to make a declaration to the city that they know what they're doing. Next is the applicable law checklist, which is a list of all the supporting documents that you must provide for the building permit to be issued. Trust me, talk to a professional. Trust me, talk to a professional. Trust me, talk to a professional. So other than the application forms, you need construction drawings. This is what the construction drawings look like. So one of the key documents is your legal survey, which shows the size and dimension of your lot and everything that's on the lot, including your house, the trees, the fences, and everything else. Next is the fully dimensioned site plan. And this is a bird's eye view of your property with all the proposed changes, which includes the setbacks, the separate entrance, and the new windows. Then there is the existing floor layout, which shows the floor plans of the entire property, including where the second unit will be. It shows things that are tangible, things like bulkheads, furnace, beams, and much more. Next is the proposed floor layout, which is a floor plan of what the second unit will look like when it's finished. This includes all the key rooms like your bedroom, your bathroom, kitchen, living area. Also includes your second separate entrance and also all the key windows. Pretty much includes anything that's tangible. The drawings that I'm showing you have 3 different floor plans so that the owner has 3 different options in case 1 or 2 of them get rejected by the city, so the homeowner can fall back to at least one that gets approved. The blue arrow indicates the primary route a person would take in case of an emergency in the second unit, while the green arrow indicates an emergency route in case the blue route is not accessible. Another key drawing is the elevations showing the second unit entrance and the exit windows. This is a drawing that shows the size of the property with all the proposed changes for the entrance and the windows. Another key drawing is sections and wall, ceiling, fire separation, construction details, including fire-rated door assemblies. What a mouthful. This drawing shows the construction details on how the perimeter wall and the interior walls are going to be renovated so that the fire cannot travel from one unit to another unit quickly. Then there is the construction details for escape windows. Now this drawing shows the dimensions, placements, and other key details for these enlarged windows that allow people to escape in case of a fire emergency. The water pipe size and plumbing data sheet shows what the existing plumbing looks like at the property and whether there would be enough water pressure to supply water to each of the units sufficiently. The plumbing schematic layout shows the separation of plumbing lines between the second unit and the primary unit, the solid being for the primary unit and the dotted one being for the second unit. Now each page in the drawings must be signatured by the homeowner, must be a qualified BCIN design, and must have the seal of approval from a qualified architect or an engineer. In terms of cost in 2022, when you submit the application, the cost is $200 and $1,040 when the building permit is issued. So after the application is submitted, it can take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months for your application to be properly reviewed and approved or rejected. If approved, the building permit is issued. Okay, now that you have the building permit in hand, it's time to start the construction. You will typically have a general contractor who looks at your drawings and will plan and build your second unit according to those drawings. Now, all the construction has to follow all the rules laid out in the building permit. And there will be regular inspections at certain intervals to make sure that is happening and that the construction is happening to code. Some example of inspections include below ground plumbing, above ground plumbing, framing, insulation, HVAC, rough-in, and a bunch more. Once you pass all of these inspections, an occupancy permit is issued for the second unit. Finally, the last step is to do your final registration. You will also need an electrical inspection to make sure all the electrical work that's done is done to code. Finally, with the electrical inspection approval in one hand and the occupancy permit in the other hand, you can go ahead and get your second unit registered with the City of Brampton to get your certificate of registration. And there you have it, your basement is legalized and you can start leasing it out. And because your property can generate extra income, the property value increases, which lets you refinance your property and get more equity, which then can help you purchase other investments. I hope you enjoyed this video on the process of getting your basement legalized. And I hope you realize that it's good to get professional help, like getting help from an architect or a licensed professional engineer and a general contractor when getting your basement legalized and up and running. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and you learned something brand new, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in these kind of videos every single week. Also, please leave a comment telling me about your experience with legalizing a basement and renting it out. Thanks for watching.